Hey there, deep divers. So you're diving into SORA and its token XOR.
Right.
You might have seen some buzz lately about the XOR supply going up.
Yeah.
And you're probably wondering, like, what does that even mean? Especially for its value.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, you've come to the right place.
Absolutely.
Today's deep dive is all about unpacking SORA's tokenomics
Okay.
and getting to the bottom of this supply increase.
Yeah. There's been a lot of talk about it.
Exactly.
It's something that comes up.
Yeah, a lot of questions.
For anyone who's into crypto.
So let's start with the basics.
All right.
SORA aims to build a decentralized global economic system.
Like a new financial internet
Yeah.
powered by blockchain.
And XOR is the fuel that makes it all run.
Yeah, think of it like this.
Okay.
SORA is building a city,
Okay.
and XOR is the currency that everyone uses there.
Gotcha.
But building a city takes resources, right?
Right. And that's where the supply increase comes in.
Exactly.
It's not just about numbers going up randomly. It's about funding the growth and development of this ambitious project.
Yeah, the source material lays it out pretty clearly.
Okay.
A big chunk of those extra tokens goes towards research and development.
I see.
Imagine cutting-edge tech.
Uh-huh.
That could make this decentralized economy a reality.
Yeah. And you need to keep the lights on.
Of course.
That means funding the infrastructure, rewarding the validators who keep the network secure,
Right.
and attracting users to this new economic system.
And here's the thing.
Okay.
SORA doesn't want people just holding XOR and hoping it goes up in price.
Oh, interesting.
They want to shift the focus to what XOR can actually do within the SORA ecosystem.
So it's not about speculation, it's about utility.
Exactly. They want XOR to be valuable because of the functions it performs,
I see.
not just because it's scarce.
Okay, I get that.
Yeah.
But I'm sure some listeners are thinking, hang on, will increasing the supply just make my XOR less valuable?
Right.
It's a fair concern.
It's a concern that comes up a lot
Yeah.
with cryptocurrencies.
Yeah.
But SORA is trying to address this in a few key ways.
Okay.
First, they're emphasizing real-world use cases for XOR.
Okay.
It's not just sitting around in a digital wallet. It's actively being used.
So what can you actually do with XOR? Give me some examples.
Well, for starters,
Yeah.
it's the native currency for transactions on the SORA network.
Wow.
Think of it as the digital cash you use in their decentralized city.
Makes sense. Anything else?
Here's where it gets really interesting.
Okay.
SORA has this unique feature where the community gets to decide
Okay.
how funds are used for projects.
Interesting.
People propose ideas, they vote.
Wow.
It's like a direct democracy for shaping the future of the network,
I see.
all powered by XOR.
So XOR actually gives you a voice in how SORA evolves.
Exactly, and that's not all.
Okay, there's more.
XOR also provides liquidity on PolkaSwap,
Okay.
their decentralized exchange.
So that's like providing the fuel that keeps the trading engine running.
Exactly. Plus, you can stake XOR to help secure the network
Okay.
and earn rewards,
Uh-huh.
kind of like earning interest on your digital savings.
Nice.
And as SORA integrates with other blockchain platforms,
Yeah.
XOR will be used to power those connections as well.
So even though the supply is increasing, there are all these mechanisms in place to ensure XOR has real utility
Yes.
and value within the ecosystem.
Exactly.
But what about those concerns about uncontrolled inflation
Right.
and the potential for this supply to just keep growing forever?
That's a great question, and it brings us to a key part of the SORA story.
Okay.
SORA V3.
Yeah.
It's their latest update.
Right.
And it's specifically designed to address those concerns
Okay.
and create a more balanced system.
SORA V3. This is where things get really interesting.
Yeah.
All right, let's break down SORA V3. From what I'm seeing in the source material, it's all about creating a more sustainable system for XOR.
Yeah, that's the key idea. SORA V3 introduces some pretty innovative mechanisms
Okay.
to manage the token supply and make sure it's aligned with the growth and needs of the ecosystem.
One thing that caught my eye was this idea of dynamic supply adjustments.
Right.
Sounds pretty high-tech.
Yeah, it is. Basically, it means the XOR supply isn't fixed.
Okay.
It can be adjusted, but here's the important part.
Okay.
It's all done with community oversight.
Oh, wow.
No more decisions made behind closed doors.
Interesting.
XRO holders get to vote on any changes.
So it's like a built-in safeguard against runaway inflation.
Yeah.
The community can step in and say, hey, things are getting out of hand. Let's adjust the supply.
Exactly. It puts the power in the hands of the people who are actually using and holding XOR.
Yeah.
And to add another layer of control,
Okay.
the rate at which new XOR is created grid,
Right.
what's called the emission schedule,
Okay.
is directly tied to how fast the network is growing.
I see.
If things slow down,
Yeah.
so do the emissions.
That makes sense. It's like a self-regulating system.
Right.
But I'm also seeing a lot of talk about burning tokens,
Yeah.
actually removing them from circulation. Can you explain how that works
Sure.
and why it's important?
Burning tokens is like hitting the delete key on a certain amount of XOR,
Okay.
permanently removing it from existence.
Interesting.
It's a tool that can be used to manage the supply
Okay.
and potentially increase the value of the remaining tokens.
So under what circumstances would they actually burn tokens?
Oh, imagine a scenario where the SORA ecosystem experiences a sudden surge of growth,
Uh-huh.
tons of new users, lots of activity on the network.
Okay.
In that case, the community might propose a burn to make sure the supply doesn't outpace the demand,
Yeah.
keeping the value of XOR stable.
So it's a preventative measure to avoid too much inflation.
Precisely. And there are other scenarios too.
Okay.
What if a major institution, like a bank or a government, decides to adopt SOR? That kind of large-scale adoption could significantly increase the demand for XOR.
Yeah.
Again, the community might opt for a strategic burn
Okay.
to ensure the token's value reflects its growing utility.
Now, those will be some major headlines.
Yeah,
But let's say things are a bit more normal.
right.
Are there other reasons why they might burn tokens?
Absolutely. Remember the SORA treasury we talked about earlier?
Right, the one that supports development and community projects.
Exactly. Well, if the treasury accumulates way more XOR than it needs for those purposes, the community might decide, hey, let's bring some of this excess to maintain a healthy balance.
So it's all about keeping things in equilibrium.
Yeah.
But what if there's no massive growth spurt, no institutional adoption frenzy,
Right.
and the Treasury's doing just fine?
Yeah.
Could the community still decide to burn tokens?
Yes, that's the beauty of community governance.
Oh, wow.
If the XOR holders believe a burn would benefit the long-term health of the network,
Okay.
they can absolutely propose and vote on it. Maybe market conditions have changed, or perhaps they want to adjust their overall strategy. The power is in their hands.
That's a lot of responsibility.
Yeah.
How does SORA make sure these burn decisions are made thoughtfully and not just on a whim?
That's where the governance process comes in.
Okay.
Any major proposal to burn tokens goes through a thorough deliberation process. It's not a snap decision.
I see.
The community has time to weigh the potential benefits and drawbacks,
Yeah.
analyze the data, and consider the long-term implications.
So it's a very measured approach,
Right.
designed to prevent any rash moves that could destabilize things.
Exactly.
It sounds like SORA is really trying to strike a balance between giving the community control and ensuring responsible decision-making.
Exactly. And this is where SORA's vision goes beyond just technology.
Okay.
They're building a new economic model, one that's more inclusive, transparent, and ultimately more sustainable.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here.
They have.
We've talked about the reasons behind the XOR supply increase, the real-world utility of the token,
Right.
the innovative mechanisms of SORA V3,
Yeah.
and these fascinating burn scenarios.
Absolutely.
What does this all mean for someone who is maybe just hearing about SORA for the first time?
I think the key takeaway is that SORA is challenging the traditional speculative model of cryptocurrencies.
Okay.
They're building a system where the value of XOR is tied to its role within a functioning, growing ecosystem,
Okay.
and where the community has a real say in shaping that ecosystem.
It's definitely a different way of thinking about cryptocurrency, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah, it really is. It sounds like SORA is trying to bridge the gap between the exciting potential of blockchain technology
Right.
and the need for real world applications
Yeah.
and sustainable growth.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. It's about bringing blockchain down to earth and showing how it can solve real problems and create new possibilities.
So for our listeners who are intrigued by all of this and want to learn more, where should they start?
The SORA website is a great resource.
Okay.
They have in-depth information about the project, the technology, and the V3 tokenomics. It's a bit technical, but it's worth digging into if you want to get a real understanding of how everything works.
And I'm guessing they have some easier to digest materials as well, right?
Absolutely.
Like explainers or videos
Oh, yeah.
for people who are new to all of this.
They've done a good job of making the information accessible to a wider audience.
Okay, cool.
And you can also check out PolkaSwap, their decentralized exchange,
Okay.
to see XOR in action.
I see.
It's a great way to get a feel for how the token is used in real-world transactions.
So you can actually experience the SORA ecosystem firsthand.
Exactly. And of course, you can follow their official channels
Okay.
for the latest updates and announcements. They're very active on social media and always engaging with the community.
It sounds like there's a whole world to explore.
Yeah.
But let's go back to that question you posed earlier.
Yeah, okay.
You asked, what if the future of cryptocurrency isn't about chasing quick profits, but about participating in and shaping decentralized economies?
It's a question worth pondering, isn't it?
Yeah.
SORA, with its emphasis on utility governance and community involvement, offers a glimpse into a future where cryptocurrency is more than just a speculative asset.
It's about empowering individuals.
Right?
Building new economic models and creating a more inclusive and decentralized financial system.
And that's what makes this space so exciting.
Yeah.
We're witnessing the early stages of a paradigm shift. And projects like SORA are at the forefront, pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
Well, deep divers. I think it's safe to say we've surfaced from this deep dive.
We have.
With a newfound understanding of SORA, its token XOR, and the vision driving this project.
And hopefully a sense of curiosity and excitement about the possibilities of decentralized economies.
So until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep those brains engaged. We'll catch you on our next deep dive.